Signs of bottoming have been spotted for these growth stocks, and in this video you will find out how you can actually participate with a low risk entry just right before the stocks take off. So let's get started now. The first stock is TIGR Brokers or the Fintech Holdings Limited. So let me just zoom out to have an overview of the previous accumulation area. So last year, there is a great accumulation structure forming from July to December. And the breakout just happened at the end of last year, December. You can see that the breakout actually happened at about 7.5. Right after the breakout, there is a strong parabolic run up takeoff and going all the way back to $38. So from 7.5 to 38. So you can see that this is a super high beta stocks. And because this is a parabolic run up, this sort of the trend cannot really sustain itself. And we do see that there is a distribution on the top information. So there is a spike of the volume right at this big bullish bar together with the rejection bar, rejection tail with a increasing of the volume. So subsequently, there is a break below this localized support area. So this is the localized support area. And once it's break below this support area, there is a relatively sharp reaction down. So this sort of the collapse of the parabolic movement that comes with a very high consistent supply level. And eventually it just formed this sort of a selling climax with an automatic rally. So this is a technical rally, which sets up the trading range. So that's from about 16 to 25. So pretty much it just bouncing up and down within this trading range. So let's just zoom in and focus on this trading range itself. So there is a secondary test as a sign of weakness with the spike of the supply. I think that corresponds to the earning announcement. So there is a break below this swing low support level, but here it is. There is a very quick recovery up, which comes with the spike of the volume as well. So there is aggressive demand come in to push the price up, and subsequently there is another supply absorption process, and eventually it just kind of settled itself up with a rally up, but it did not really touch the swing high resistance level. And subsequently, here comes a reaction down that comes with a localized increase of the supply. So overall, the structure containing decreasing supply within this accumulation structure. However, this sort of the increasing localized increase of the supply level will need to be tested. So this leg down has been tested with the very low level of the supply, and that comes with a high low as well. So that pretty much just confirmed that this is has been tested, and subsequently this rally up is the best rally that we have ever seen. So in terms of the magnitude, so it's definitely is the best rally. And in terms of the volume, definitely this is a aggressive demand coming to pump the price up. And most importantly, last Friday, we do get a commitment above the resistance level at about 25. So this is a bullish character for TIGR Brokers. However, do note that this last two bar itself actually has some sort of the implication. So we do get a effort versus results. So where the last candle has an increasing of the effort, increasing of the volume. However, the results to the upside is actually kept. So despite that you end up as a up day, there is a rejection tail, and also there is a shortening of the trust itself. The close is not as good as the previous bar. So what actually capping this upside movement is definitely the presence of the supply level. So this bar here contains quite a lot of the supply and is actually manifested in the price action itself. So I think that we definitely will get some sort of the pullback, which definitely in lines with the sign of strength rally. sequence. So right after the sign of strength rally, what we actually anticipate for a bullish movement is some sort of the backup action. So what we want to see is probably a shallow type of the backup action followed by another rally up. So if we can just have some shallow movement, probably back to test around 24, maybe back to test this bullish bar here, and any type of the reversal signal could be a great long entry. And the first resistance for this Tiger Brokers will be somewhere around 30. So that is the previous resistance level. And I think that make quite a lot of sense for the first target price. So if you can just test this, and we need to see the reaction of the price movement. If you can just overcome this $30, I think there's a high chance for the stock to test the all-time high level at about $38. All right, so this is Tiger Brokers. And before I jump to the next stock, I would appreciate if you can just like this video and just subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't. That will mean a lot to me. All right, back to the video. Next stock is FUBO. Okay, so FUBO is another super high beta stock. So you can see that there is a accumulation structure last year, and similar to the Tiger Brokers, there is a parabolic run up, especially in end of the December. You can see that just 5 bars that move the price from about 28 all the way to 60. So 100% movement. So this is incredible, super strong momentum stocks. And we do see that there is a spike of the volume on the way up with this kind of the parabolic or the hyperbolic run up, but also this sort of the collapse of the hyperbolic movement is also very quick and sharp and furious. So look at the volume come out. So this is a spike of the supply level. There's a ton of the supply come out on the way down. So this is a very classical distribution TP formation. So just a collapse of the TP formation. So right after that, we see that there is some buying right there, especially this aggressive momentum bar come out. So they actually push the price up with a gapping up action and followed by a test. So there's a lot of the absorption on the way down with the test. Look at the volume is generally very high supply level, but it did not really reflect on a very bearish results. In fact, with all this movement down, it did not really commit below this bullish momentum bar. So this is a great signs for the bullish continuation. So that's why we see that there is another push up here that comes with a ton of the volume as well. However, do note that previously there's a ton of the selling at the top right there. So this is the previous supply zone. And where the price actually hit the previous supply zone, there's a lot of the selling where I actually box it up as well. So you can see that there's a ton of the selling happen right there. So there is a rejection tail on this bar followed by a super bearish momentum bar, and right after that here comes another leg down. So it is very interesting to see that we get a very low volume down move because a lot of the selling has been done in this selling on the strength up and also on the way down as well. That's why subsequently it just kind of become inactive and it just drift down. And another wave of the selling comes with the increasing of the supply at about March. And we see that there is a very sharp movement down and it's just come back to the bargain hunting zone. So this is what I call it because this is where previously there's a lot of the bargain hunting, just probably because the price actually collapsed from 60 all the way to below 30. So it's about half price. So definitely it's a bargain for someone. So subsequently, here is a natural place for the price to rally up. But look at this rally. This is a very weak rally compared to the previous rally. So in this rally, it just barely commit above this bar right there. So this is the last selling bar right there. So you can see that just very weak rally up, and eventually it just sort of drift down again, and eventually it just kind of going lower and lower. Once it's break below this immediate support level at about 24, it just go back to break 20 and then 16 or even 14. However, there is something very interesting happening right here. So this is probably about 2 weeks back. So right after this lower low and lower high form, this is probably one of the rare rally up. So you can see that right every time we get a rally, it's very short. So right after the rally, we see a reaction down. So this is even very weak rally, another leg down, weak rally, quickly another leg down. However, right after this rally up, is sort of holding up the gain with a decreasing of the supply level. So this is a sign of the absorption, and also just right below this resistance level. So a very typical supply absorption. And right after that, it just have a breakout with a shallow pullback. Now it's also another breakout with pullback is ongoing, unfolding. So I think there's definitely some chance with a smaller time frame that you can dive into if you want to get a very good level of the entry. Otherwise, when the price is actually have very low level of the supply with a very small spread of the candle, I think that could be a good long entry. Another entry could be this sort of the breaking out entry. Once it's starting to break out, then we can just quickly jump in like what we have it right there. So on the way up, breaking out, then you can just jump in. Okay, so I think that this sort of the stocks could have some more momentum up, but do watch out for the overhead resistance. There's quite a lot of the resistance above 32 and also maybe 36. And also there's a gapping area at about 40 as well. So we just need to pay attention on how this resistance will provide the over opposite force for the FUBO TV. Okay, but so far is looking generally bullish in terms of the price action and in terms of the volume. Okay, so the last stock is Skillz. So Skillz is definitely another super high beta stocks. Let me just zoom out a little bit. So definitely we get a accumulation structure last year, and very similar to the previous two stocks. It just breakout happened in December last year. Subsequently, it just have a ramp up with a parabolic run up right there. So it's from 15 all the way to about 45. So definitely another multi-bagger. Um, just that right after that, we see that there is a collapse of this parabolic movement. So this is a very long-term downtrend. So if we just draw up a down channel, then I think it's just traveling within this down channel itself. So this is a very typical downtrend. However, there is a spike of the volume happening on about April, mid of April, 20th of April. So that actually changed everything. So this is a very important bar. So this bullish momentum bar comes with a spike of the volume, more than 80 million volume come in, and eventually just push a price up. And look at this is generally some sort of the aggressive demand that come in to push the price up all the way from 12 to about 2021. And subsequently, there is another reaction down that actually tested the previous movement. So despite that there is quite a lot of the supply come in, the price actually hold up. So we did not really get a lower low and continue with the downtrend. In fact, it just formed a higher low, and subsequently we see that the price slowly moving up And just a few days ago, we get a momentum bar attempt to break out of the previous resistance level at 22, and right now is kind of having the decreasing of the supply level with a low getting lift up. So again, could this become another sign of the supply absorption? So we just need to wait until we get some more, maybe 1 or 2 days, and if we can get lower volume and also maybe even smaller spread, then I think it will be probably a good sign before it actually break out to the upside. Otherwise, you can just probably jump in with any type of the breakout signal above 22. Okay, so this is Skillz is very bullish. All right, so if you'd like to learn more on how to increase your winning rate and also find out other trading opportunities, definitely check out the video that showed on the screen right now. And do remember to just get my weekly the exclusive stock watch list update and also the ad hoc market update in the Telegram group. The link is in the description below. Thanks for watching. I will talk to you soon.